Hi, welcome to Sabbath School Daily, where we have been studying from this lesson right here, Psalms. This week we're studying from lesson number 3, which has the title, The Lord Reigns, and today's Sunday's lesson, which has the title, The Lord Has Made Us. I find it fascinating that the first description of who God is in the Bible comes in Genesis chapter 1, and it says that in the beginning God created. That word created in Hebrew is the word bara. And so the reading goes, Bereshit bara Elohim, which means in the beginning God created, and that verb bara, it's only used for God in the whole Old Testament. It's not attributed to anyone else except the self-existing God. And what that defines is a being that calls things into existence. For you and for me, that kind of creation is not possible. You see, human beings can transform things from other things. We can take a tree, cut it down, and transform it into a chair and into a table. We can take water and transform it into ice, but we cannot call something into existence. That is an attribute that only God has. As the creator, as the one who makes, he can call things into being, into existence. And, like I've just said, that is the first description of God that we find in the whole Bible. God is many things. He is love. He is sovereign. He is a protector. He is a provider. But the first description that God gives us about him is that he makes. He creates. And that is precisely what today's lesson is all about. I want you to read Psalms chapter 8 and chapter 100 in your daily devotion. Those are the Psalms that today's lesson revolves around. Look at what the first paragraph tells us about this creator God. It says, creation plays a crucial role in the Psalms, in upholding God's sovereignty. The heavens, which are his handiwork, proclaim his glory and power. God's name is majestic in all the earth. The Lord has created everything. He has no beginning and no end. He is everlasting and superior over the gods of the nations, which are only the work of men's hands, nothing more. The idols have hands, but they handle not. As for the Lord, in his hands are the deep places of the earth, and his hands formed the dry land. The psalmists are extremely thorough in their praise, in their worship of God as the creator, the maker God. That's why the book of Psalms is perfect when you want to bring God, when you want to recognize him in your own worship as the one who makes, as the one who creates. The God that we worship is the greatest artist in the universe, since he is the one that has made everything that we know of, and even the things that we cannot even imagine that we're going to need to get to heaven to be able to understand. The lesson continues saying, several Psalms portray God's power over the forces in nature that other nations believe to be divine. For example, Psalm 29, Psalm 93, and Psalm 104. These Psalms reassert the claim that the Lord reigns over all creation and is supreme in power and dignity. Psalm 100 verse 3 strikes one subtle form of idolatry, self-reliance, stressing that God made us and not we ourselves. In previous lessons, I've stated what worship was like for these surrounding nations around Israel. For them that did not understand the forces of nature around them, they were tempted to deify, to worship the sun, the moon, the stars, the rain, the storms, the sea. But the Bible makes it clear that God is the one who created these forces of nature. They are nothing more than works from his hands. And then the lesson says, creation also testifies to God's love. Everything that exists owes its existence to God, who also sustains life. Notice that God not only granted people existence, but he also made ancient Israel his people and the sheep of his pasture. The notion of his people and his sheep reveals God's desire for a close relationship with his people. The fact that God made us also implies that he wants to be close to us. Just as parents want to be close to their children, our God wants to be close to us. That's why God made a dwelling place for himself among the children of Israel. We call that the sanctuary, the tabernacle. The God of the Bible wants to be close. Later on, Jesus himself came and tabernacled among us, dwelt among us, and we were able to see the glory of the only begotten of God. We find that in the book of John. So throughout the whole Bible, but especially made clear in the book of Psalms, we see the nature of God as being the creator. He's not the creator that just made things and then turned his back and went away. He is the creator that made these things, and then when the going got rough, he stepped close to them and became one of them. That is the creator that we find in the Bible. Finally, the lesson tells us only the creator has the power to bless and cause his people to increase, and thus he is the only one worthy of their worship and trust. Numerous Psalms call everything that has breath, all the earth, the sea, and everything in it to shout for joy before the Lord. The glory of God is seen in the creation, even in the fallen earthly creation, and the Psalms point us to God alone as worthy of worship. When it comes to revelation, there are two different kinds. You have special revelation, which is given to us in the Bible. Special revelation is everything that we know about God only because he revealed it. And then you have natural revelation, which is everything that we know about God just by observing nature. And in natural revelation, we are able to see how beautiful, how much of a great designer our God is. And so I invite you to worship this God today in your personal devotion, in your time with him. Worship him, recognize him for being the great maker, the great architect and engineer of not only the world, the existence around us, but of you yourself, of your life, of who you are, the God that loves you the way you are, although he wants to make you better than you are. He wants to give you a better, more abundant life. Don't forget to worship him for being your creator today. Please remember to study your lesson. Today's is beautiful. There are several quotes that are mentioned here, several texts coming from the Bible that would enrich your daily devotion. Also remember to comment down below. I love hearing from you, and please remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to our videos. We release one every day, and I hope to see you again here tomorrow for another Sabbath School Daily.